Now I invite Dr. Vijay Bedkar for his presidential speech.
COAP and Batu both for offering their cooperation, and I can assure them that as far as we are concerned, we will do our best to see that this collaboration will give some very positive fruits in the form of good students to industry and to the nation. Well, friends, I am not very competent to talk on virtual lab. Obviously, I am a doctor and not an engineer. But I am sure that this is a new tool, as they have been telling. The things are changing. One constant thing in the world is a change. And every day, every minute, there is a change. As they have rightly pointed out, unless and until we take note of that, we join that change and see that how best we can use it to our own benefit. And that's what we are trying to do that. Yes, sir, virtual lab is going to be a great help to our students. Howsoever we try to make our laboratories well equipped, and there are many equipments and many inputs which we cannot give them in a laboratory. They are not affordable or they are not possible. I am sure through this virtual lab, as you have explained now, they would learn, you would learn a lot. Well, friends, but we are a bit, as a nation, we are a bit late also, because ICT technology is now more than 10-15 years old, used very effectively in the education. But doesn't matter, it's never too late. The enrollment of about 60 to 80 participants coming from different engineering colleges and arts and science colleges itself indicates the need and the encouragement they require from such courses. Yesterday I met a couple of students. Now I am coming to a point which I would like to request to my students and faculty both. See, the development or change can occur if all stakeholders are participating with equal zeal and enthusiasm. They have talked about their own role as mentors, as teachers. Yes, they are doing an extremely good job. Faculties would do their jobs. But unless until there is an equal response from the students, they won't enjoy their job. Unless and until you also participate in this process with equal enthusiasm, the final result won't be adequately encouraging. It is for you. It is not for faculty. It is not for VPM, MPCOA. It is not for anybody. It is for you. Why I am trying to tell you, you are the building blocks of the nation. We are dreaming to be a superpower. We are dreaming to be a great power. How is that going to happen? Our government is doing many things. People are doing, industry is doing. Let's not debate that. There is no point in pointing fingers also. There are many good and bad things happening. My point is, what are we doing? Let's come to our own self. And then your role would start, and my humble request to all of you that take it very seriously. Take it very seriously. This is a golden opportunity for you in your life. This period of your life you are not going to get back. You have an opportunity, you have a great opportunity. Please jump on that and see that you utilize that opportunity for your betterment. Your betterment is the nation's betterment. Yesterday I met few students and I asked them, can you tell me what is the greatest event in science during last day or two? I am not happy. None of them could tell me what has happened. It's as simple as that. You must have read in papers that the gravitational waves, they got confirmed after 100 years. Einstein proposed them 100 years back, and it took 100 years. Friends, how many intellectual people must have worked on that? It took 100 years. to that what that visionary said 100 years back, something like gravitational waves. So science is something which you have to prove. There is no final answer in science. If some scientist or somebody says that this is my final answer, he is not a scientist. The beauty of science is that it changes. And that's what has happened. Everybody, people were working, many people challenged Einstein, many people started doing that, and ultimately we found the answer. We are happy because some Indians also have contributed to that. That's a still happy situation that few Indian scientists also contributed to that development. So friends, those inputs come to you. How do they come to you? Whether it is virtual lab or whether what is happening now in the world, some major events at least, they would come to you if your mind is open, if your eyes are open, if your ears are open. And like a blotting paper, you have to blot them, you have to read them, you have to analyze them, you have to discuss them. And that forum you can offer. This is a forum for you to discuss, interact, dialogue. As we do that personally, the virtual information communication technology available now is a great tool again. It's a great tool. And it is happening all over the world. You go to the websites of those universities and you will find there are webinars going on continuously. Advancement of Science in America is the world's largest body of science. And go to their website and you will find that there are webinars being broadcasted every day in every topic for you. Very few Indians participate into that. Yeah, they charge something. Either you have to be a member or little charge is there. But there are very free webinars in science. That's virtual. But the participation, the study shows that not even 1% Indians participate, I mean outside America, participate in those webinars. Now, as we said, knowledge is available. Knowledge, it is not confined to schools, colleges or rooms or libraries only. Through this medium of internet and this technology, it's available. It's plentifully available. It's freely available, paid as well as free, open source. Now, unless and until you make use of that, your faculties make use of that, you find out, you discuss, and then interact, that is going to make some advancement in your knowledge. And those availabilities are huge. I can say huge. It's very difficult. You need a special mentor for that. If you want to know something, what is happening today in mechanical or electrical or in my medicine, I need a special guide. That's the speed. That's the speed. So this opportunity college can offer you, these resources we can offer you, and we have to make best use of that. Second thing what they have said is really welcoming, and I feel that mindset will have to be changed. That is sharing of resources. It's not easy. It's not easy. This is a 100 crore project. The money doesn't come from skies, and it's very difficult. Capital is very difficult. But we can share. We can share. Why can't we share? So that's a good idea, and I assure you that as far as we are concerned, I am very sure there are other colleges here also. Let's share. Let's share. There is nothing wrong in sharing. Because it's what do we share? We share knowledge, which has no authority. There's nobody can claim that it's my knowledge. So in future, we have to share. And that concept what you have said of sharing is going to make radical changes as far as India is concerned, because we cannot invest everything everywhere. And the last thing I would tell you, he was talking about Yale or all American institutions. Yes, as far as the finance is concerned, we just can't match them. But my worry is not finance, I am telling you. Why are they bigger? Are they big because they have huge finances? That's a half-truth, partial story. They are great because there are mad people there. They don't care for anything. There are scholars and scientists working in their laboratories for day in and out. The rest of America may be dancing, doing any damn thing, but there are such people in America in their universities that they just work, work and work. And then maybe after 1 year, 2 year, 10 year, 15 years, it took 100 years for Einstein's vision, they come out with solutions. Now that's what we are lacking. Those mad people we are lacking. We are not trying to understand. We are copycats. We are happy with copy and paste. Friends, that's not going to make us superpower. Try to understand that. You will have to spend, you will have to lose something. You will have to pay cost of something. And that cost either is in the form of your time, money, or your devotion, commitment. So, if we get, our population is how many times? 5 times more than America, or maybe more. If we get a small proportion of our nation, young talent, for that kind of mindset of commitment, madness, that they would do nothing but in the laboratory and otherwise, I am sure you can be a superpower. You don't have to have weapons, you don't have to have money, you don't have to have anything. Nobody can touch you. That's happening, in China. How China is becoming a superpower. China is a superpower because their universities, their students, their teachers, they are working like any mad people can work. You go to their universities and you'll find that many Chinese are working. They want to compete with America. Why can't we compete with them? We can compete with them, we can compete with China. So friends, unless and until we make that commitment, unless and until we are very serious about it, things are not going to change. But I am very optimistic. Don't worry about government. Don't spend your time in criticizing anybody. That's a pastime. It doesn't help much. Leave it to your media. They have enough money and enough time to do that. Let's do something. Who has stopped you? Nobody has stopped you. We have signed that. Government has not come in the way. We have signed that. They are willing, we are willing, and we are going ahead. So there are things which we can do. Let's do them. And you will see that world would change. And lastly, I will just caution you. This is my caution to you. There is one doctor, Indian origin doctor in America said, stethoscope is dead now. I am not happy with that. Stethoscope should never be dead. Because stethoscope is human interaction with patient. That's how I receive, I perceive, I see, my eyes hear my patient's ailments. And if I don't do that, and I go to virtually or I go with only machines, you know what mistakes are happening. They are very expensive also, financial and otherwise also. So you cannot replace your experience. You need to have that. This is a tool. Always remember, this is a tool. And somebody has said that map is not territory. You have a map of India, that you mean you know India? You don't know. If you want to come to Veldeshwar, you have to travel all the way and be here physically. Map on Veldeshwar doesn't mean anything. Same as menu card. If you read a menu card, batata vada, that's not enough. You have to go to canteen and actually eat that batata vada. So real experience is not going to be replaced any time. But to get that experience, to have more information, all these things, they do help. Well, friends, on your behalf, let me assure them that yes, we can interact, and that interaction would be interaction in a direction to build our nation. Thank you. Thank you very much.